responsibility on James Tedesco's shoulders. No Luke Keary, as I'm sure you know by now. Mick Ennis, Roosters won this contest in such impressive fashion. I think there was a feeling, well, that's going to be the start of a premiership charge, but only one win since, and right now they're clinging to a spot in the 8. In fact, as we speak, they're outside the 8.
Yeah, they've just slipped outside the top 8 on the back of the Dragons win on Thursday night, and that man there, James Tedesco, he's been in outstanding form of late. Tremendous for New South Wales in game 1, but you're right, Dan, you got the sense at Magic Round that opening half an hour from the Roosters was the real turning point of their season. They were so physical, it was the Roosters of old. But now on the back of back-to-back losses, something we haven't seen from the Roosters a lot recently, they're up against it tonight, facing 3 straight losses. They have had a tough run, but an opportunity tonight to really step up against one of the top sides in the competition. We know Parramatta were down last week, but you would think they will come out firing at home tonight. I think we're set for a big game here. Well, I think both sides are desperate.
That Magic Round game was easily the best game of the weekend in Brisbane, and if this can be anywhere near that, then we are in for one hell of a night.
Yeah, not only have the Eels shown the ability to bounce back after a poor performance, they've shown the ability to claw their way back into games, and that was a good example back in Magic Round. The Roosters' first 30, 40 minutes were fantastic, and they were down by a big margin, the Eels, but they got back to 25-24 with not long to go. They didn't win the game, but a lot of pressure on this man, Mitch Moses. Now, I thought he had some good touches last week in the second half, but gee, I think the frantic footy that they played was, I think it was Moses' inability to just compose the team. And Mike Acevo returned last week. Not a great game to have his first game in, was it? They were beaten 34-4, but boy, if he gets some opportunities tonight, look out.
They love him here.
Look out. He's up against Joseph Zawali, one of the real highlights of the games, the matchup between those two.
Well, James Tedesco has not so fond memories, wasn't it, here that Micah ran clean over him? So the stage is set. Both sides looking for a bit of redemption after losses last week. It's Parramatta on the Roosters, and a welcome return, Sam Verrills. And off we go. Enjoy on this Saturday night. As Drew Hutchison in the halves role. Siwa Takayaho first to hit it up. Excellent record when Drew Hutchison has been in the halves. He did it 17 times last year. They had 12 wins.
Just quickly looking at Parramatta, looks like Papali's out on the right edge, and Madison is in fact playing in the middle.
Madison in jersey 15. So that adjustment there. Verrills feeding it on. And the defence yielding some metres here. There's Nat Butcher almost a halfway on tackle number 4. Good signs for the Roosters, albeit in this one and only set with Takayaho now contained as the last is signalled, and Walker will be doing the bulk of the kicking, you imagine. Easy catch for Sevo, and a good line of Roosters defence.
Yeah, we just spoke about the pressure on Mitch Moses and what happened last week against the Dogs. On the flip side, Sam Walker and Drew Hutchison. A lot on their shoulders as well, with no Luke Keary.
Good run there, Sean Lane, 20 metres upfield down that tight left-hand corridor.
Already, referee Todd Smith keeping a big 10 here, and leaders are flowing. There's Paolo. Well contained. Now it comes to Campbell Gillard. Both the front rowers were kept very quiet in that Magic Round contest, both well under 100 metres each. Unusual. Moses. Verrills was the man doing the chasing. A little bit of confusion, but no problem for Tedesco. As we say hello to Jake Duke on the sideline.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. Perfect conditions for football down here at ground level. The field is actually quite dry for a winter's evening, which hopefully lends itself to some adventurous play, something to entertain the 20,000 strong crowd we have on hand here tonight. The majority of them, of course, Eels fans, hoping to see a response from their side after that loss from the Dogs. Lots to the Dogs as the Roosters get a penalty. But the Roosters, they've actually won 6 of the past 7 between these two sides, so a tough task for the home side tonight.
That is very rare that you're at Parramatta Stadium where there isn't dew on the ground.
Yeah.
That's a great thing in terms of what sort of contest we might get here tonight.
Well, there's been a lot of wind around, hasn't there? A lot of wind around Sydney today, and the conditions are terrific here at Combank Stadium.
Also, it hasn't dropped the temperature, which tends to lead to dew. Let's put our meteorology caps off and put our football caps on. Here's Hutchison providing for Takayaho. That's the 20-metre line where he's going to play the ball here. It's been an energetic start from the Roosters. Verrills, just his 5th game this year. Hutchison to Walker. Tedesco on to Billy Smith. Smith has to get to ground quickly. And just does enough.
Great shot from Moses from the inside there.
Now Walker on to Butcher. As Verrills goes to the open. Collins on to Hutchison. Here's Tedesco. Now a charge. Mardu's flick. Suoli! He's over in the corner. Just a brilliant start for the Roosters. Well, Joey Manu, you just expect a ball like that, and the put down was wonderful as well.
It was, because he took a shot from Mike Acevo as he was in the air there, Joseph Suaalii, but was still able to control the football and get it down into the corner. Off the back of their first penalty, they get some field position. They go centre field. Suaalii just holds the ball long enough. Did he stay up? Did he stay up in the air here, Joseph Suaalii? Look at Joey Manu, the no-look flick pass, and gets it down. Well done.
He did, Brand.
And he did cop a shot. He took him sideways there, Sevo. He hit him that hard. But Suaalii, very composed in an awkward situation, and does a great job to get it down.
Yeah, boy, he's a good finisher, Joseph Suaalii, and a really nice set piece. On the back of a penalty, the Roosters with their first attacking opportunity out to that right-hand side where they have been lethal at times this year. There was a moment at Magic Round where Sam Walker, and you can see there Gutherson. Yeah, remember at Magic Round, Brandy, when Sam Walker went the chip over the top when Gutherson put himself in the line. Now, Gutherson saw him swing down that left-hand side, put himself in the line, and therefore that moment where Suaalii ends up scoring the try is normally where you see Gutherson turn up. But he held on the short side for a fraction longer with the presence of young Sam Walker, and unable to get there. They stripped them for numbers. Great start from the Roosters.
Well, Suaalii in Brisbane stunned the Eels with his aerial game, and there he does it with strength and contortionism. And now Walker, whose kicking has improved vastly. And that one is absolutely perfect. It could not have started much better for the Sydney Roosters. 6 points to nil.
And his kicking has improved as the year's gone on. Sam Walker had a lot of trouble with those sideline kicks, getting the distance as we see it in super slow motion. And just watch Joseph Manu take his time, just drag Sevo in long enough. That was all that was required. He spun him sideways, he hit him that hard, but Suaalii, sensational job to get it down.
Yeah, 26th try that's come down that right-hand side for the Roosters. That combination, Brandy, of Joey Manu and Joseph Suaalii. Gee, it's coming together nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, not a bad bloke to be on the outside of, is it, Joey Manu?
Those kids are from the King's School. That's Joseph Suaalii territory. That's Will Penasini territory. How wonderful to see kids that are just a couple of years older than you, and they're playing on the biggest stage we have in rugby league, NRL first grade. There's Daniel Tupou going nowhere. So the Roosters off and running. As Collins straight down the middle. The Roosters actually have a better record this year against top 8 teams than bottom 8. And they're rolling now Tupanua. They're going at lightning speed. Verrills. Takayaho.
Just saw Collins' run there. That's why he's such a good front rower. He caught that ball flat-footed. He's got great speed off the mark for a big man, Lindsay Collins.
Parramatta's just had it for one set. Well, they're about to get it back here. But Gutherson has nowhere to go.
There's no hiding where the Roosters are going tonight. They've been all down the middle, generating some ruck speed there, some momentum. Verrills out, holding up the marker. And it was Tupanua getting in behind the ruck with great leg speed. Now contact on Mike Acevo, a little high. And they've gone early, the Roosters.
Yeah, a little offside as well. That's a big let off for Parramatta. They were They were going nowhere.
Yeah, just gave Lindsay Collins a rap for his work with the ball, but just absolutely buried Micah Sevo there. Quickly off the line, and the Roosters, two athletic front rowers, Taukeaho and Collins, off to a good start.
So their first opportunity, Parramatta, comes right here. Looking for a quick reply. There's Moses for Campbell Gillard. Taukeaho last appeal off as it comes out for Moses. Back in field. Paulo keeps it going. Marnie on, Papali'i running wide. Tidy tackle by Billy Smith. Marnie, referee said it was okay. As Gutherson now laid against the grain. Lane keeps it going. Wonderful try. It's Dylan Brown. Oh, we might be in for something special here tonight. Roosters score at one end, Parramatta hit straight back.
Yeah, wasn't that a spectacular effort? And what an answer from the Parramatta Eels. Came down this right side, an offload from Junior Paulo, kept the ball going, and then they swung it right hands. Look how quickly they get it out. Gutherson turns Lane on the inside. I thought the job by Taukeaho just to grab Lane was going to be good enough, but he had Dylan Brown in support, and Marnie's gone awfully close to knocking that on a dummy half, but that is a spectacular try. Lane rampaging down that right-left edge, and Brown back on the inside. What a try.
Yeah, his 7th try of the year, Dylan Brown. He's been in stellar form. Picked in the Kiwi squad during the week, and the shape out to that left-hand side. Gutherson accelerating hard, dragging the Roosters defenders towards the sideline, open the space back on the inside for Sean Lane. Big, powerful, athletic, got the arm free. But you're right, Brandy, it all started with Mitch Moses. Would have been a tough week for Mitch after that moment where Matt Burton got him scoring a try. All week he would have been dying to get back on the field. But when Moses is playing direct, Parramatta are a different footy side. Coming off the left boot, finding Paulo back inside, and he's able to generate that offload, and off Parramatta went.
Well, this is quite similar in pace to what we saw a few weeks ago. 2 tries in the first 9 minutes, 6 points apiece.
And here's the offload from Paulo. Just crashes into Taukeaho, both front rowers there, the Roosters, and then Reed Marnie. Good ball out to Papali'i. Just got the Roosters turned around, and off the back of the quick play the ball.
Look at this for a ball.
This is what resulted. Oh, that's brilliant, that
Isn't
ball.
it?
That is brilliant. He took 4 Roosters out of play there to give Dylan Brown an unchecked run to the line.
Yeah, that was special from Lane.
So off we go again. Dylan Brown just happy to take the tackle.
Gee, looking at the form of Jerome Hughes last night, Brandy, and Dylan Brown hitting the ground running again tonight. Gee, they got some informed halves, the New Zealand side for next week.
As they play Tonga the first game next Saturday. What a game that's going to be. What an event at Mount Smart Stadium. Live here on Fox League as Madison in the starting side. Followed up by Paulo. Not quite able to get an offload there. Still a handy run. Marnie kicking before the last. Turning Tupou around.
Look at Gutherson.
And Gutherson there got a little check from Tedesco. That's what's got the crowd interested.
That's Parramatta at their best there, on the back of points, getting downfield with their big men, physically through the middle.
He's lost that? No.
High tackle.
I think they're saying crusher. Did he get caught in an awkward position? As he went to the ground, the Roosters players all threw their hands in the air.
As soon as contact was made, Mick, you're right. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. So Regan Campbell-Gillard on report.
Regan, on report.
He just got caught in an awkward position, didn't he? Billy Smith went straight back to his feet, and the Roosters with their second penalty now coming out of yardage. That'll help again.
So that now becomes another storyline. Regan Campbell-Gillard with a bit of a sweat. Well, last time Roosters went on the attack, they scored.
He's had a great start, Collins.
Verrills. Butcher. for Walker. Tupanua. He was unstoppable a fortnight ago against Canberra. Melbourne did a good job of him last week at the SCG. Comes out to Butcher. Hutchison almost puts Billy Smith through. Short side play for Hutchison. Now it comes out to Crichton.
Great tackle.
And a try saver. Gutherson, huge. Walker.
Suwali.
Here he comes. Here he comes. But Sevo out-muscles him and stays in the field of play.
How good's this? Yeah, just too far from the ball, wasn't he? Joey Suwali just couldn't get to the contact.
Oh! Now the penalty. It's a late call. But the tackle on Wanga Blake deemed illegal.
Right, there's some feeling starting to come out now. It's Lindsay Collins in the thick of the action again. What a take here. Suwali was flying. Sevo up above the pack at full stretch, and this is the shot from
now
Collins.
More Origin ramifications here. Lindsay Collins is going on report. It is happening at 100 miles an hour here at CommBank.
And because it has been, we just haven't had time to talk about the Gutherson tackle on Angus Crichton. That's a try saver, and he's renowned for that.
There is an electricity here at CommBank at the moment. It's just bubbling as now Parlo over halfway. Now Dylan Brown linking up with Moses.
Oh, good tackle. Takiaho coming from the inside.
Little help there from Hutchison and also Crichton. On the 30, it comes back for Campbell Gillard off that Madison pass. Now it comes to Moses lurking on the short side. Papali'i takes on Hutchison, who stands his ground. Need some help there from Smith. So 10 out with this last tackle. And it's Moses putting Manu under pressure, but Manu is so good in the air. But then the desperation of Gutherson. Oh, this is an inspirational start from the Parramatta number one.
Some of the moments from Clint Gutherson to start this game have been outstanding. Leading from the front as captain, his kick chase on the back of the Reed Marnie kick into the corner, his one-on-one tackle on Angus Crichton, and physically grabbing Joey Manu and throwing him back into the in goal. The Parramatta captain is trying to inspire his teammates.
You know what was important? He waited until Manu got to the ground.
Yeah.
So most players would have challenged him while he was in the air.
Look at this.
Gutherson timed it perfectly to throw him back in after his feet touched the ground.
It's a fair strike. That has Parramatta now just barely getting to the 40. So the Roosters scoring first. Parramatta hitting straight back. That's a strong run for Parlo. Just getting them on the front foot here. Moses almost inside Crichton, but penalty coming.
Yeah, really good signs from Parramatta. Just the intensity is completely different to last week. The carry from Junior Parlo there, just barnstorming through the Roosters' defensive line. Moses on the back of the momentum, coming off the right foot, earning the side a penalty.
They're taking the tap. I feel they're a big chance here. It does seem any team going on the attack is a real possibility of going through. Campbell Gillard now under the posts. And we've got a problem here.
Oh, it's Nat Butcher.
With Nat Butcher, who's been terrific for the Roosters this year.
The mindset of Reed Marnie to play short there shows Parramatta's intent to go through the middle tonight. Last week, just trying to push the ball around the outside of the Dogs. And there's been a complete shift in their mentality. And going short this time to Campbell Gillard, and just that little jink there, and Butcher lost his footing, got his head in the wrong spot. And he looks to be in a bit of trouble, Nat Butcher, leaving the field. And it looks like Egan Butcher going to come on.
So Egan just getting back into first grade.
He's a good player, Egan Butcher. He's got great skill.
Had a foot injury which sort of it paused the start of the season for him. He's only been back. This is his third game this year, but Parramatta still on the attack. There's Parlo. That's three of them to stop him. Now Dylan Brown. You know he loves running close to the line. Marnie, another crash play. Campbell Gillard, oh, he got close.
Short out to the left.
That was Verrills down low. There's Moses on to Gutherson. Out it comes, and Penasini put down.
They needed to react quicker than that, the Eels, because the Roosters had no one on their right side.
Had to go there.
If it was a shift from the Eels left instead of coming right, I'm sure they score a try. Plenty of work to do now for the Roosters, though.
They are hemmed in the corner here. Billy Smith, he's been good in defence.
He's been good carrying the footy too. It's been a good start. Momirovski left out of the side this week. Suwali now carrying hard.
And keeping it going. Verrills now. And that just changes the momentum of that set.
How good Suwali. It's unbelievable.
Even Butcher allowed to run. He can do it all, can't he, Suwali? Strength and speed, and there's a slip from Tedesco. It's going to be too deep for Suwali. Here's a good chase from Tupelo, but Sivo, evasive. Then he gives a don't argue to Manu. Look at him go. Welcome back, Micah Sivo.
It was like Jonah Lomu down the outside. He was shrugging and bumping. Micah Sivo, welcome back to Combank Stadium.
Well, he beat 2 and trampled 3, so that's quite a run, Micah Sivo.
And the crowd screams his name. Penasini cut down here. Players just starting now to be susceptible to slipping as Simonson back to the middle. Madison threatening to turn it on the inside. Well, he does in the end. Now Moses on the run. Back here for Papali'i. Pins the ears back and gets through Tedesco. Too strong, Isaiah Papali'i. He just ran over poor James Tedesco. He was not going to be denied.
Yeah, he just had to speed Papali'i to beat those and open up the defence, but it started with the Micah Sivo run. Joey Manu, there'd been a couple more before that. Sam Walker over the top. That got them out to halfway, and then at the back end of the set, Moses drifting across field, gets someone out of the line, leaves a hole, but Papali'i's strength and ability to get back up on his feet and beat Hutchison to the line. Madison's offload, absolutely crucial, where he flicked out the back to Reid Marnie.
He's done a good job, Reid Marnie, on the back of offloads, getting the ball out to his halves and moving the ball away from the congested ruck. And Moses, with his acceleration, found Papali'i, who's been moved back out onto that right edge tonight. Niokore gone back to the interchange bench. And offloads hurting the Roosters. And the offload from Sean Lane for Dylan Brown's try, the offload from Ryan Madison for Papali'i's try are as good as you'll see.
How good is this? And Tedesco now, he had that nick before the game, and it's obviously just been opened up, but, well, early justification for moving Papali'i back out onto the edge where he's been so devastating the last 18 months.
Yeah, he's played more back row than Madison this year anyway. So it makes sense as he drills it straight down the middle, Mitch Moses.
12 points to 6 to the Eels.
Yeah, the battle on the far side of the field is a special one. Suwali, the run that he had in the previous set was strength from a young man and just athleticism. Only for Sivo to return serve, and the fans on the eastern side just bellowing into the Sivo chant. And then on the back of that, look at this for an offload. Brilliant. Marnie rips it out to Mitchy Moses at full speed. And again, changing direction. Slippery conditions at Combank. Dew just starting to settle in, and the footwork and speed of Papali'i, very good.
The stars are shining early here.
That's deep.
Perfect in the end. Who was it that compared that run to Jonah Lomu? I don't know who was Mike Catt in that scenario, but that is a great observation. In the 95 World Cup from that Micah Sivo run. He was steady last week. It wasn't his day. It wasn't anyone from the Eels' day, but What an imposing run that was. Now Parlo.
He's had a great start.
Speaking of imposing, draws a penalty. Roosters offside.
Sometimes with Junior Parlo's skill, that at times he feels like he needs to use it and create opportunities and create momentum for his outside men. When Paulo's in this mood and he's aggressive and he's carrying hard, thinking run first, he is one of the most destructive front rowers in the game.
He has more metres in the first 19 minutes than he did against the Roosters in Brisbane.
There you go.
And Campbell Gillard is about to do the same. Real intent from the forwards of Parramatta as Moses. On to Campbell Gillard. Well met this time by Collins. So we've got both those players on report, Campbell Gillard and Collins. Now, Moses with the right foot step and keeps it going. Another offload. Here's Parlo. This time well contained. Tupanua locking up that arm. But still, so many tackles left. Marnie. Brown. Late. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. It's Gutherson who gets over. Sean Lane is having a career night. And the Eels get their third consecutive try.
And off the back of their fourth penalty of the night, they find touch and find themselves attacking the Roosters line very quickly. Sean Lane has come up with another spectacular ball as he hits the ground. I was just about to say that's a fantastic legs tackle on Lane, but it left his upper body free, and he's a talent.
Yeah,
flicks it out the back.
Marnie did a great job just to hold Collins and Tedesco at the ruck, and then that combination, which has been excellent at times this year between Dylan Brown and Sean Lane. And when you're playing with Sean Lane, you've got to realise, you're right, Brenny, he's such a tall man that any legs tackle, he has that skill, which we've seen tonight, to promote the ball to offload. And Gutherson, who was at a great start for Parramatta, all effort, all energy, and he gets the rewards there. The captain gets a well-deserved try.
That's 2 tries in 3 minutes now for the Eels. They have jumped to a handy lead with a kick to come.
Gave off some power runs, didn't it?
It is a complete turnaround from what we saw from Parramatta last week.
5 offloads, and all of them seemingly have had devastating effects. 3 offloads directly to tries.
Yeah.
Moses to make it a 12-point game. You said 2 tries in 3 minutes, Brandy, and go back further. 3 tries in 13 minutes. After being shocked in the opening couple of minutes. And it's coming back, but nowhere near enough. But it's Parramatta 16, the Roosters 6. Jake Duke, down to you.
Yeah, Sean Lane, what a solid presence he is on that left edge for Parramatta. So consistent. He's actually played 22 games in each of the past 3 seasons for the Eels, always on that left edge. And he gets a 7th try assist for the season, 2 tonight, to get the Eels going really well. And this crowd is certainly fired up for this one. What a frantic start to this game it has been. And Parramatta have bounced back in a big way from that tough loss to the Bulldogs last week. But just a bit of HIA news from the Roosters camp, boys. Nat Butcher was ruled a Category 1 from the bunker, so he is done for the evening.
Okay, probably not that surprising. Their bench, Connor Watson.
Well, Lindsay Collins has just left the field. He's got just had his hands out as he ran off, wondering why he'd been replaced. Egan Butcher's on the field for the Roosters, as we see Gutherson put the ball down again in the in-goal area for the 3rd Eels try.
Well, they've got Fletcher Baker. They've also got Daniel Saluka for feeder. Not that he's a big-minute player. That's a terrific start to the set for Madison.
Yeah, they're saying Collins has to come off the field because he's had a head knock.
Okay, so he's perplexed by that. Oregon Kafusi, followed up by Campbell Gillard.
Yeah.
They're up to halfway on tackle 3.
The power game from Parramatta tonight is Parramatta at their absolute best.
Madison to Brown. Brown to Blake. Blake can't get by Manu. Well, this is high quality stuff from the Eels. This is the team that beat Penrith and beat Melbourne. A high kick here from Brown. Here comes Sevo, and fortunate bounce for Tedesco, and he copped a high one there.
Well, it was a great reflex take from Tedesco. It bounced off a shoulder or something. It came at him very quickly. Wanga Blake, he's got some height too, and is a good target for the Eels. Both he and Sawali went for the ball.
It came off Blake's back, didn't it? Great reaction from Tedesco.
Geez, handy penalty because they would have been stuck on their try line with a rampant Parramatta defence to contend with. So this is no comparison to the first half in Brisbane when it was the Roosters that blew Parramatta out of the water early. As Takayaho driven back. It was Campbell, Gillard and Papali'i. And Manu chiming in. But those metres that were just flowing early for the Roosters, not at the moment. Walker's kick finds the grass. Handy and a tricky bounce. Simonson. Nonchalant and effective.
It wasn't a deep kick, but it did split the fullback and the winger and almost caused some problems for Bailey Simon.
Billy Smith puts one on Penasini, but Penasini gets it on. And they continue to struggle containing the offload, the Roosters.
He's making a statement, Billy Smith. He's had a wretched run with injury and gets an opportunity tonight, as we said, without Momorowski in the side, and he's been really physical, both with and without the ball.
It's only his 10th game. He's been around for so long now, but those injuries have just been crippling for him. There's a run from Kafusi. So Parramatta back in Roosters territory. Madison back inside for Gutherson. Forward pass, and it's cost them a try. They had the Roosters dead to rights, but this time the pass not quite on song.
Yeah, you see that type of inside ball throw forward quite often. Madison was facing towards the corner post, just didn't swivel the body around enough to square himself up to deliver the pass. Very easy to push that one forward, as Madison did then.
Yeah, 25 minutes into the match, and that's the first error. First error from either side. First incomplete set. It has been a cracking start.
With 25
and how close
minutes
was that?
25 minutes, where did that go? If the pass was on, they had the 3-on-1. Oh, Suali now, it's his turn on Sivo. What a battle this is.
He's getting to the point, Suali, isn't he, where he almost beats that first defender every single time he runs the ball. Look at the size of him.
Now, this is the impressive Fletcher Baker, getting it to halfway. Okay, on for Crichton. There's now the early pass from Egan Butcher. Walker puts Tupanua away. Tupanua pins the ears back. They hit back the Roosters. This just gets better and better. And Satili Tupanua continuing the form from the Raiders a couple of weeks ago when he was devastating.
Yeah, special player Satili Tupanua, and nice shape out this right-hand side, and Sammy Walker got great trust in this rampaging, athletic edge-back rower, Satili Tupanua, who just accelerated at full flight into that space. The home fans, they're not happy with the pass from Walker, and he gets straight through Dylan Brown. Gutherson had already gone past the footy, and at the rate of knots that he came back towards
let's judge
the pass.
Oh, jeez, that's
probably a little worse than flat. I would think.
Not a kind replay.
Still, he's no different to the Ryan Madison pass to Clint Gutherson only moments ago.
He's one hell of a hole runner, isn't he? Satili Tupanua, and it wouldn't be hard to mount an argument that he's been one of their most consistent players throughout the season. You spoke about the game that he had a couple of weeks ago against the Raiders. He was enormous. And directly off the back of a penalty set, the Roosters come up with a try. And they needed it too. They needed it after the Eels had gone bang, bang, bang. And now Walker puts it through to be a 16-12 ball game.
5 tries in the first 27 and a half minutes. All high quality. That one with a question mark.
Yeah, this is the pass here. No doubt it's only marginally forward, but it's forward.
the turn of pace on Tupanua, yes,
Brilliant.
it should have been pulled up, but he was never going to be stopped from there.
Well, you saw the Tongan side named during the week, and he was in that starting side. Ola Kawatu can't get into the starting side. That's how good he's going. Tupanua, that's how high they regard him in the Tongan setup.
So
he is one of the most athletic back rowers in the game.
Seesawing with those tries. Roosters scored first, Roosters scored last, Parramatta three in between. The physicality, the skill, the speed. This game has had everything. Now Daniel Tupou went over 200 metres against Parramatta last time out. Verrills. And then Crichton almost found himself with an opening ahead of him.
Did well to pull that in, Crichton.
Hutchison on the run. Takaha may have gotten away there. Hutchison takes the tackle. Still a good set so far. Billy Smith, well handled here. And the kick from Walker. Oh, here we go. Crowd rises. But that's an excellent line of Roosters defence there.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make the same mistake again and give themselves a little bit of time and not get
That's a good run.
to Mike Acevo as quickly as what Manu and Suwali did the last chase.
Well, it was Wanga Blake with a Acevo-like charge.
Yeah.
And now Niokore wearing 12 but starting from the bench, so nice and fresh. Gutherson, he's been everywhere. Madison, him too. There's that flick. But it was Crichton all over Gutherson. Strong tackle that. And now the high kick bringing Tupou forward, no problem. And happy to take the tackle. Brad Arthur. Well, they've answered the criticism to this point from what they produced last week. Totally different Parramatta outfit tonight. Here it comes here to Joseph Suwali.
Moses.
Moses there, all over him. Here's Tedesco down the middle. Well contained. And Hutchison to kick on the last. So for the first time tonight, we're really going set for set for the last few minutes.
Yeah, James Tedesco, terrific in that set, 2 touches and carrying in around that ruck. This is the period of the game where Tedesco becomes so dangerous, athletically, and just his endurance threatening through the middle. An offload now out to Sivo.
Audacious from Penasini inside his own 20. Penasini contained. Inside the last 10 of a wonderful first half.
He's been outstanding, Gutherson.
Gutherson playing it for Marnie. Dylan Brown on the lane, and this time they knock him over. Out it comes from Moses. Keeps it going for Papali'i. Here's Penasini. Back for Simonson. Gets it around the body. Papali'i again. Wonderful pickup, Madison.
Oh, shot.
He keeps it going. This is incredible.
Oh.
Dylan Brown, short lane. Don't tell me. Out it comes. Wanga Blake, Mike Acevo. Absolutely incredible. That is as good as you will see. And it's Mike Acevo with the finish.
You just don't see a better try than that. Really. Like, we've seen some spectacular football played this year, but I don't think I've seen the sort of football from either of these two teams.
What's the pickup from Madison?
Brilliant. Simonson does a job to keep the ball going. Papali'i with a step and footwork, and Madison scooping an awkward bouncing ball. He gets driven into the ground by Angus Crichton.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Quick hands from Brown out to Lane. Suwali made the choice on Sean Lane, which opened up that sideline for Mike Acevo, and that is brilliant football, isn't it?
What about that from Dylan Brown? It was a rifling pass from Mitchy Moses out to his 5'8", and the catch and pass to Lane, who was under pressure. Brown was under huge pressure. Look at Parlo, he loves it. Oh yeah, Parramatta hitting back. One of the tries of the year, and the Acevo chant bellowing here at CommBank Stadium.
So
Well, when you're talking about the good football that these two have played, the sets that they're putting together, Mick, like how impressive was that set? Parramatta, they're moving the ball 60, 70 metres, but they're not just going up the field. They are moving it from side to side. There's offloads. It is entertaining stuff. Everyone here at CommBank Stadium watching on Fox Sports would be loving it.
So the Sevo chant bellows around the ground. They now quieten down for Mitch Moses. I think the fans and you watching at home on Fox League probably appreciate the pause to get a breather. That fan's happy. And Moses, it's not coming around. 4 tries to 2, 20 points to 12. Jake Duke, down to you.
How good is it to hear the Micah Sevo chant here at CommBank Stadium? They love him here. He has scored 28 tries in 29 games at this stadium. What a record it is, and what a return, because he had a tough week last week in his first game back from that ACL injury in the NRL. They got flogged by the Bulldogs, but he's back tonight. He hasn't scored a try since round 19 last year, which was August. 10 months that's been since between Micah Sevo tries, which is a long wait for a guy who has scored 54 tries in his 68 games so far. It's good to see him back on the try score sheet.
Thank you, Jake. I know Vonnie and the team are watching back at the Clive Churchill studio. I don't know how they're going to get the highlights down to a short enough package to fit it in the break, as now here's Wanga Blake. What intent he's brought tonight.
Carried the ball excellent. Yeah, come into tonight's game and everyone talking about the loss against the Dogs for Parramatta and back-to-back losses for the Roosters, but at their best, plenty of people thought the Roosters would win the comp this year. And Parramatta, one of the favourites. Well, we're getting the best of them tonight. Both sides at their absolute best in the opening half.
Yet again, Parramatta easily to halfway, as now Papali'i against the grain. This time, no offload, but it took all the strength of those defenders to bring him down. On the last, Moses. What's he got lined up here? He runs, draws them in, gives it to Simonson. Back in comes Gutherson. Another wonderful try! This is vintage Parramatta. This is a vintage performance. 5 tries against the Sydney Roosters. My goodness, they are getting better as this game goes on.
Yeah, sit back and enjoy this from Moses. Recognises they're short, down on the short side, and just accelerates. Great ball for Simonson. Gutherson, Marnie, 2 of the great effort players in the competition, and have been brilliant in that area this season and brilliant tonight. But Moses orchestrating a masterclass, the Parramatta halfback, found Simonson, Gutherson inside, Marnie doing a great job. And Reid Marnie going over, extending their lead to 12, and Parramatta in red-hot form to start this game.
We've had 7 tries. We've had 7 tries scored in this first half.
And
it's
7
still not
belters.
It's still not done with. We've still got 5 minutes to go. The Eels, after trailing 6-0, Dylan Brown scored a spectacular try off a Sean Lane pass. I don't think I've seen a side put together so many spectacular tries. Like they're not just running across the try. Like there's beautiful hands, the running,
Offloads,
It's
pickups off their feet.
Tries have it all. They really do.
One error between these sides.
What a game.
Parramatta 6 line breaks. This is the Eels at their best. Reid Marnie. He gets on the board, joining Papali'i and Brown and Sevo and Gutherson.
Big
5
kick
tries.
This is a big kick.
Close range, he should swallow this up. And Parramatta has its biggest lead of the night. It was 16-12 just 7 minutes ago. It is now ballooned to 26-12. So biting the fingernails, Trent Robinson. What can he do? What is the tenor of the conversation at half-time?
Well, the difference between Parramatta from last week to this week is their physicality and the way they're going after the battle through the middle. They've got to try and contain the Parramatta side's power through the middle. All their momentum's coming off the middle.
It's exhausting defending for the Roosters because the Eels are making metres so easy. They're getting to halfway within 3 or 4 tackles. The Roosters are going backwards at a rate of knots. It's very hard to stop a side that is in such good touch as the Eels tonight.
Now we've got an update, I believe, Jake Duke, on Lindsay Collins.
Yeah, you just see him there, boys. He just made the tackle. He has passed his HIA back on the field, which is good news for the Roosters, considering they already lost Nat Butcher. And we just saw Regan Campbell-Gillard down on the sideline getting a bit of a rub in the glute. He is good as well. And Ryan Madison went up the tunnel. They just say it's an issue in his back, but they've given it a rub out, and he's all good as well.
Okay, thank you, Jake. So Parramatta yet again easily up over halfway.
Second run of the set for Parlo.
Yeah, it's Parlo, it's Campbell-Gillard, it's Niokore, it's Lane. They're just battering the Roosters through the middle and getting themselves set at the end.
Now Gutherson coming through on the chase here. And Tupou puts it down. Another chance. And now here comes Parlo up to the 20. Full set for Parramatta. Can they get another?
Gutherson is everywhere at the moment.
Comes to Brown. Kafusi, conservative run, gets him to the 10. Again, the short side. The attempted intercept. Oh, and Suwali cleans it up. And it is a knock-on confirmed by Todd Smith. And at least for the Roosters, it just slows things down a touch.
Well, if Joey Manu doesn't get a touch to that, I think the Eels score again. Marnie out of dummy half. Wanga Blake might have overrun the ball, but it was a play that just had to be made by Joey Manu. He took the odds to it.
All right, well, Junior Paulo, he's standing out of the scrum here on the right-hand side. What can they conjure up here, the Parramatta side?
They're going out now towards Parlo. To the front man, Penasini. The Roosters were awake. Smith and Hutchison. Back for Kafusi. So get to play their hand, the Eels, in this set as Marnie out to Moses. On the line, along the line. Little wild, that's unusual. And still 3 tackles left. And now Wanga Blake. Two minutes to go in this first half. Marnie again attacking the short side, this time with a grubber. And they get back there through Manu. But this is relentless from Parramatta.
Well, when you score 5 tries, you keep the ball away from the other side, and that's exactly what they've done. The Roosters only made 1 error, but only been able to get through 12 sets. The Parramatta side have got through 19 sets, and here they come again, minute 38 before the break, and they will be under assault again.
Not as deep this dropout. Parramatta with Oregon Kafusi almost to the 20.
Yeah, he's been good, Kafusi, coming off the bench.
Here's Dylan Brown taking the line on. So again, patient early in the set for Parramatta as it comes out of Niokore. Egan Butcher standing there and making the tackle. Quick play the ball as now it comes out to Brown. Linking up with Moses. Here's Gutherson. Here's trouble. Here's the pass for Simonson. But a huge tackle from Tedesco that might have just kept the Roosters in this contest.
Yeah, because that was a great set play there by the Eels down this right-hand side. Gutherson out the back. Tupou just threw an arm out, but Tedesco arrives as Bailey Simonson's heading towards the try line. I thought once
he did
Tupou
well, Gutherson, didn't he?
He did well. Tupou out of the line to just try and upset Gutherson, put him off through the dummy, but
gee, that's
desperate
good
stuff.
Play. Yeah, great play from James Tedesco. Gutherson did superbly to get rid of Tupou. He just did a little better.
Hello, here's a chip kick. It finally gets to Manu. Oh, he does a magic act. Suwali on to Tedesco. He got past Marnie, but Marnie did enough. 1 play for the Roosters. Oh, and Walker just dropped it straight into Wanga Blake.
Reid Marnie's hurt here. It was a real heavy contact on James Tedesco. He hasn't moved.
Well, that is an astonishing first half. Capped off with a bit of excitement at the end, but Reid Marnie might pay a price for that, although now he's up.
I think it just stung the left shoulder there. I think he's okay.
Well, that surely is as good as it gets in 2022. Parramatta 26, Sydney Roosters 12. The quality has been spectacular. Just about all the stars had at least one big moment each. That man, Parlo, unstoppable with his offloads. James Tedesco, that try saver near the end of the first half.
Geez, he was good, Brandy.
Outstanding. The only player to run for more than 100 metres, 13 runs. Just have a look at that. A couple of offloads that also started some movement that led to tries.
If they turn it around, it's Tedesco's tackle we'll look back on as a real turning point, but they've got so much ground to cover. Parramatta bring it back through Parlo. Already well over 100 metres. So the Eels with Sean Lane now.
Yeah, great first
Those
half.
offloads, incredible. Parramatta's first half-time lead since round 7. 6 straight games without leading at the break. A couple of ties in there, but they've come out all guns blazing. There's a strong run from Niokore.
Jeez.
Here's Moses. On it goes Papali'i. Back running wide and hard to handle. There's a charge down. That's Billy Smith,
Oh, that's
and he
brilliant.
recovers. The man who came up with some wonderful defence in the first half delivers a huge play for the Roosters.
What a great effort play that was from Billy Smith. The Roosters, 14 points down, starting this second half, needs some special plays, and that was one of them.
And now the Roosters all of a sudden on the attack. Connor Watson in the game. Hutchison first receiver. Crichton loses it. And that is a cheap let-off for the Eels.
Yeah, he won't be happy. You can see there his reaction. And he's got it in his game from time to time, Angus Crichton, a loose carry, and it was a hard, flat ball. Moses up in his face and just slipping out of his right hand, Angus Crichton. I thought he carried the ball pretty well in that first half. He was busy, aggressive, and on the back of a tremendous play from Billy Smith, the charge down on Mitch Moses and the regather. A turnover early in the set won't please the Roosters.
Yeah, that takes the wind out of their sails after the Smith effort. Parlo off the scrum, something that we've got used to now off the back of an Eels scrum win. Parlo with a hit up.
Already his 15th run of the night. Oh, and there's some sturdy defence. Kafusi stopped cold. Niokore into Fletcher Baker. Lindsay Collins also. Back inside Roosters territory. Parlo's pass, well taken by Moses eventually. Eels with just 2 first half errors. Comes from Parlo. Steady run. Now we come to the last. They have run on the last, but not here. Gutherson claimed he was taken out of it, and he was, and it's a penalty.
It was Fletcher Baker, I think, on the inside. Gutherson has chased Mitch Moses' kicks like a wild dog tonight, and Moses going to the air, and he just couldn't help himself. Fletcher Baker just leant in and knocked the Eels skipper off his feet.
He's like the blue cattle dog chasing a stick, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Parramatta, no surprise, tapping and charging it inside the 10.
Big shape out to this left-hand side for Parramatta.
Marnie on to Moses. Out for Parlo. Oh, straight over Tupanua. Manu and Walker. A bit of help from Watson to bring Parlo down. Back to the middle. There's Dylan Brown onto Niokore. Just to set up play here on tackle number 3. There's front man play as Kafusi gets close. Quick play of the ball. Moses. Oh, there's a strong shot from Crichton as Penasini put down. Now on the last, the kick from Moses, awkward. And Walker's jump did not create a problem for Manu, and a composed take and then the tap. And the Roosters survive their first defensive test of the second half. Down to you on the sideline, Jake Duke.
Well, that was Trent Robinson's message at half-time. He said his side did not have enough intensity in defence, not enough guys turning up for their teammates, need more desperation, so he'll be really happy with them holding the Eels out there for that first attacking raid of the second half. Brad Arthur was all about physicality. We know he loves his side to go through the middle hard and fast, and then they play sideways from that. He was very happy with that in the first half, but he says that needs to keep up for 80 minutes. They cannot switch off.
Thank you, Jake. Very handy 6 again here for the Roosters midway through that set.
And Trent Robinson not wasting any time. Fletcher Baker giving away that penalty, and after 4 minutes into this first half, he's replaced him with Daniel Saluka Fafita.
Daniel Saluka's Fafita's first appearance here tonight. Now it comes out for Egan Butcher. Rather than that, out of the game, concussed. Watson. For Hutchison. On to Tedesco, the dummy not fallen for, but the offload for Hutchison. Now Walker sizes it up. He can't get around the lane, but still offloads. Parramatta don't panic in defence, and Egan Butcher goes nowhere. So now it comes down to this. And Walker, no surprise for Suali. Here he comes. He had a shot, but Gutherson comes up with it eventually, and Wanga Blake now with good metres.
Yeah, smart play there by Gutherson. Just notice that Wanga Blake down this left-hand touchline was open, and that's good metres. It gets him out of trouble.
Bit of ferocity about that Saluka Fafita tackle on Sevo. Collins again went down a little awkwardly as he just dawdles back to the defensive line. Now it comes to Parlo.
The width of Reed Marnie's pass tonight's really troubled the Roosters. They're trying to compress up their defensive line, but his long pass is getting the big men on the outside of the congestion at the ruck.
So 3 there to meet Niokore. Already his 9th run. He came in late in the first half. Dylan Brown's pass for Lane. Lane again just tucks it under the arm. So Moses, testing kick here as Tupou goes backwards.
Just got enough of it there, Daniel Tupou. Moses' kick didn't travel as far forward as he would have liked. Good pressure there from Egan Butcher.
Oh, that's a strong contact. And Papali'i comes out second best. And he comes back, though.
How did he come out of that alive, Tupou? He just bounced off the collision.
And kept going.
Yeah.
Billy Smith, we've seen tonight, has been willing to do the tough stuff. As now Tedesco's pass, Saluka Fafita. Well handled by Dylan Brown. All in all tackle as now continues to go to the right. Walker Tedesco, quick heads Manu. Beautiful pass to Ali. Now the kick. Dylan Brown doesn't get the bounce. Suali! The kid is incredible. Joseph Suali puts in the kick, gets the bounce, finishes it off. And the Roosters, they're not done with yet.
They just had to be first to score in the second half. 14-point deficit coming into this second half, and they needed to score first, and they've done so through Joseph Suali. And seemingly only things like this happen to players like Joseph Suali. He is special. He got the bounce, but Tedesco's involvement down that short side was certainly required. And I was just about to say, Tedesco only 6 runs, no Luke Keary tonight. He's got to get himself in and around the ruck. That time just bobbed up on the outside, put Suali in a bit of space, creating the extra numbers. The kick wasn't what he was thinking, I'm sure. It's an ordinary looking kick, but it found the try line, or very close to it, got the bounce, and they get, most importantly, the first try of the second half.
Yeah, his second try of the night, Joseph Suali. And you're right, Brandy, the game's had an incredible knack, and will always have an incredible knack of producing certain players that can just do things that other players can't. And even as Suali went for that kick, he might not have deliberately planned that style of kick, but sometimes they just happen for special players, and that's what he is. His first try was a ripper in the far corner, the put down, but that one was very, very, very impressive Joseph Suarez.
You just knew they had to score first in this second half. Walker's kick, not quite. 26 points to 16, 5 tries to 3, but most importantly for the Roosters, they strike first in the second half.
Yeah, lovely ball, wasn't it, Mick, from Joey Manu? And it is quite a combination that these two have formed. Sawali looking at the players on the inside. He had players, but there was enough Parramatta defence there. The cover, they were there in numbers. He couldn't deliver a pass. I think the kick was intended to go infield to James Tedesco, but he'll take it.
2 tries against the Eels in Magic Round, 2 tries again. He's 18. He is 18 until September. And Saluka Fafita, first to bring it back.
He's been tremendous. Marata Nurkore, physically, coming off the interchange bench for Parramatta. He's been brutal through the middle.
So Watson now for Crichton.
Oh, that's a good run.
It's a good start to the set. 3 tackles in, closing in on halfway. Watson's run. Now Collins. Took a shot there from Lane, but still up to halfway on the 4th.
Well, he's just backed up the run from Crichton, Lindsay Collins. This is a good set from the...
Well, Tedesco was on the left this time, and something was bubbling, but the pass goes astray.
Yeah, it was. Mitchell Moses just had to bite in on the lead, and there was some space on the outside. Had he have been able to land this pass, he's in discussion there with his outside men. Maybe they didn't come to the party with what Tedesco wanted, but the ball sails over the touchline. And that was a tremendous set for the Roosters. They were rolling.
So now Lane over halfway.
That combination of Angus Crichton's power carry with...
Extravagant dummy from Dylan Brown.
Connor Watson, sorry, out of dummy half. That's dangerous.
It was an important tackle from Manu. Towards the middle for Nurkore. No offload so far in this second half for the Eels, as Marnie with a little dart. And now the final play with Moses set to the right. Wants to plug it in here, the chase of Penasini. Billy Smith.
He's been good, hasn't he, Smith?
Hasn't he showed some courage tonight? And now the Roosters, this is hard yakka. Ryan Madison, tremendous impact in the first half.
There he is again, Crichton carrying hard. Great start to the second half after dropping the ball in their first set. He has responded beautifully.
Oh, Tedesco was upset. He wanted that on the left side.
Well, this is as hard as the Roosters have run all night. They are getting themselves out of trouble, and so much so that they've earned themselves a penalty. Crichton backed up by Sawali. And plenty of metres after contact there. And then Sawali just crashing into Oregon Kafusi, Reed Marnie.
Captain's challenge from Parramatta.
Okay, first
They're
captain's...
challenging the call of ruck interference with the play breaking down, mate.
First challenge of the night here.
Mate, that is claiming that he knocked on and that it wasn't ruck interference. Yeah,
So
I
Suwali.
agree. I called out.
Well, they're saying he has to get to his feet. You can't put the ball on the ground. You've got to bring the ball up before you put it down. Is that what they're saying, Dan?
Well,
Very strange way to play the ball, to just put it on the ground and leave it
Just
there.
looking to determine if there's any ruck interference.
but if Marnie has made any interference, it will still be a penalty, even if he shouldn't have put it on the ground that quickly. So this is a toughie.
Joseph Sawali stands to play the ball. There is no ruck interference. They're going to retain their challenge. Going to go back for a play the ball.
Okay, so no penalty, but still Roosters ball.
He's a genius, Moses. That's a great challenge.
That is.
That's a big challenge because that was a great set from the Roosters. Had they been able to kick the touch there and continue to roll on.
With the sort of mood that they're in now, the Roosters, yes, that just stops the
play
set.
4 now.
James! Hang on. Back!
So off we go. Just a hit up for Saluka Fafita, which will bring up tackle 5. Still a strong run. And Walker's kick is tailored here for Gutherson. And the Roosters have gone up a gear. And Simonson swallowed up. He fights hard in the tackle. Parlo. Madison. Just happy to work it out here, Parramatta. No offloads still in this second half. So it comes out now for Oregon Kafusi. And 5 hit-ups to see the set out. Gordon Brown under a little pressure from Tupanua. Suali sits under it. Good chase from Moses. Oh, Suali, trouble! But works out okay. Tupou.
Geez, they've got no fear, some of these young guys. We've seen Penasini in the first half throw a...
Now, Tedesco passing with Hutchison. Appearing to be in front there, but ref said no one impeded. Here's Walker.
They're starting to test the short side. Sam Walker starting to get himself in the game.
Takayaho lines up. Manu, not surprisingly, running from dummy half. And the lovely offload. Tedesco, he's bobbing up everywhere now.
Yeah, and he has to get involved. He's the man. Both times he's touched the ball now, they've either made a break or scored a try.
Gutherson. A metre too shallow for his liking. So we're in the grind here as Sevo straight into Watson. And now Simonson with his 10th run of the night. Campbell Gillard again, just all one-out runs here with Parramatta. The meter's not as prevalent in this second half so far for them, with Marnie a dummy half. Madison, there's an offload. Marnie now, onto Parlo. And he'll look to get rid of it, but well wrestled to the ground by Watson.
Oh, someone's
it's a Rooster. It's a Rooster really in trouble here.
Yeah, trying to tackle Ryan Madison.
Butcher.
Straight away, the trainer there just getting him in the right position.
Great sportsmanship too from Ryan Madison, who stayed with Egan Butcher. His brother, Nat, unfortunately had to leave the game early from a head knock collision and just catching the hip there of Ryan Madison.
Well, this would be the second exit if Egan was to suffer the same fate as his brother.
He just dropped his head, didn't he?
Doesn't look good. Of course, if this is an exit and there's a third, that would trigger Paul Momirovski. But they don't want to get it to that point, the Roosters.
And signalled for the stretcher too, which is not good.
No, it's taken a while for Egan Butcher to return to first grade. As I touched on earlier, he had a foot injury that kept him from the field. This is just his third game of the year. He has shown some excellent potential. He's 22 and this is his 18th game.
I think this helps Parramatta. It's been a fast and frenetic start for the Roosters, and you can just see the brains trust there of Reid Marnie, Mitch Moses, Clint Gutherson in deep discussion as we see Verrills likely to come back into the action here.
That was the first offload of the second half, and Dan, you've mentioned it a couple of times. They threw enough offloads in the first half to last them 80 minutes. There was 11 offloads in that first half that led to 5 tries.
And while we have a moment here as Egan Butcher is put onto the Medicab, let's just sit back and enjoy some of these tries.
Put down.
Now that was skillful, and they get more skillful from there.
Yeah, then Parramatta ran in a couple, didn't they? Dylan Brown, brilliant stuff from Sean Lane. The offload dragged in 4 Roosters players before he flicked it back on the inside to Dylan Brown.
Yeah, Parlo here, his offload there on the previous one set up that first try, and then that time it was Ryan Madison. And again, Moses, who had a great first half, linked up with Papali out to that right-hand side who went through. This was special from Sean Lane. Look at this, out the back to Clint Gutherson.
That was 3 minutes after that one, so they came pretty quickly for the Roosters, but when Satili Tupanua crashed through the line and scored a try, the Roosters were within 4 points. Got back to 16-12, but then, gee, Mick, the Parramatta Eels finished with a flurry in the first half.
Yeah, this was really nice work. Penasini went back on the inside to Simonson, and it was offload city, one after the other over the top. Look at the pickup from Madison off his toes. He then gets the ball back here to Moses, who rips it across field, and the catch and pass from Dylan Brown was spectacular. Lane, Blake do a tremendous job to attract the defenders before the Eastern grandstand went absolutely berserk as Mike Subo picked up his first. That was nice, wasn't it, Brandy, from Moses?
Mitch Moses down that short side there just to create a 2-on-1. Nice ball back on the inside. Really have played some great footy, and then the Roosters had to be first to score in the second half, and they were through Joseph Suwali. Got the A-grade bounce to get them back closer to within 10 points now of the Parramatta Eels.
So Sam Verrills will come back in as Egan Butcher is being placed on the Medicab.
But the quality of the football, and it's not just the try scoring, the spectacular tries, it's been the football in between all of that.
That's right, yeah, it's been cracking, been end to end, and
Ferocious.
both sides at their best. Yeah, physically, both sides have been brutal.
And Mick, the Eels have relied on what they have over the last 4 years. The Eels play good when their power game is as it is tonight. The two front rowers, you bring Nia Kore off the bench. Lane's been great on the edge, as has Papali'i, but they're all used to just power down the middle third of the field.
When they come roaring out of the backfield with Sivo or Wonga Blake, those big athletic types carrying hard, takes a lot of pressure off Parlo and Campbell Gillard that they can get back and then carry hard at the back end of sets, and they've done it. And then once Parramatta get in that mood and they can create second phase play, Lane brilliant tonight. He's had 2 try assists. Parlo offloading the footy. Madison.
So play restarts with a last tackle kick. As Suwali just happy to take it up. May we say our best wishes to Egan Butcher and the Butcher family. It's a rough night. It's a rough night indeed, and we're thinking of you and wish you all the best as we continue on here.
He's been outstanding again tonight, Daniel Tupou, taking all the tough carries out of his own end.
So there's Crichton. You can hear the grunt in these tackles. Just the one try so far in the second half. We're delicately poised. Taukeaho now playing it. Verrills. Hutchison again attacking that short side. Crichton chopped down by Moses. Walker goes for distance.
There's been a clear instruction from Trent Robinson, Angus Crichton, I think at half-time. He's put an absolute target on Mitch Moses, who is doing a tremendous job getting his body in front, but Crichton's come out with venom with every carry, and Moses having to get in front of him every time. Sivo shrugging off defenders.
Got rid of Suwali. Got rid of the number 6, Sam Walker. Finally, they stop him. Oh, Wonga Blake. He's been inspired as well. And a good play the ball. That gets them on the front foot with Lane. And this is more like what we saw of Parramatta in the first half. Real momentum as Madison's inside pass to Campbell Gillard. The kick here eventually gets to Dylan Brown. Tricky, not tricky for Suwali. He was never challenged there. So it's become a bit of a chess game here with Tupou, one out. Players starting to put hands on hips. It has been a draining contest. So Luca Fafita followed up by Watson, pushing away from Parlo.
Yeah, had to go left there. They had Mitch Moses reeling out of the tackle. They were short on that right-hand side, Parramatta.
Hutchison again with distance, but no problem for Gutherson. straight into Verrills.
That's a little advantage there to the Parramatta Eels. That was only a 30-metre set from the Roosters, and they'll be back near halfway very shortly as he gets another offload. That's Penasini. He's been pretty handy at that too tonight.
That will be his third offload of the night. Barlow straight and hard again. He's closing in on 200 metres.
Yeah, he's been wonderful tonight for Parramatta.
Only midway through the set here. Brown takes off. Lane goes with him. Back now, Campbell Gillard steaming into them. Almost to the 10. Now Moses has got him backpedaling. Madison needs to get rid of it. And this time he can't.
Yeah, I don't mind that from Parramatta, running the ball on the last. They're turning it over only 2 or 3 metres from the Roosters' try line, and frustrations flaring here. Angus Crichton wanting the footy in his hands. Look at that, almost 1,200 metres, Parramatta.
Yeah, the difference between the two sides just at the moment, and that's the ability of the Eels to carry the ball a lot further. That was a 70-metre set from Parramatta. Had the Roosters on the back foot. Again, the power running of the Eels the key.
We've seen a lot of this from the Roosters in this second half, just working it out. And in fairness, same at the other end. Oh, Tedesco, there he is. And gets it on. Verrills. Oh, he got away from Moses. And tries for the pass. And it's called a knock on.
Gee whiz, Penasini just lunging with the left arm, grabbing the back of the shorts of Verrills. Had he been able to get into the backfield, he had Tupou on his outside. Tedesco sniffing around the ruck. It's where they're dangerous, the Roosters, and an adventurous pass from Verrills trying to find Billy Smith back on the inside.
When you see the pass front on, the pass was really never on.
Never on, no.
Billy Smith never got close to that one. Stayed around the shins. Almost impossible to pick up.
The Roosters, you look at some of these stats we're putting up on the screen here. 2 tackles inside Parramatta's 20, and yet they're very much in this game. Jake Duke, down to you.
Yeah, good news from inside the Roosters sheds, boys. Egan Butcher, we saw him taken off in that nasty collision, but the good news is he is up and about in the sheds, walking around, which is really good to hear.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jake. That was a Campbell Gillard offload that got them going, and then Crichton steaming into Barlow.
Well, that was a big hit, wasn't it? Crichton out of the
lane
line.
in the second half.
Madison with footwork and the pass, and Marnie not quite ready for it.
Marnie has done such a good job tonight because just about every one of these forwards that are offloading the ball are offloading it to Reed Marnie, who has had the vision tonight just to clear the ruck very quickly. And that has led to a lot of the Parramatta points, but that one he just couldn't handle. It wasn't easy to pick up. But his ability to catch an offload and then transfer the ball very quickly to the edges has been a big reason why the Eels have opened the Roosters up so many times.
Lindsay Collins,
He's been awesome tonight for the Roosters.
certainly was. Now, the Roosters already close to halfway here. There's Tedesco just lurking around. Just watching on as Takayaho rolled over. He's ready for the inside ball.
Tedesco, he had to find him.
Hutchison couldn't get it on. And now Walker on the short side. And the step, but he can't evade Marnie. Madison helping. And up it goes. Tedesco pouring through here, putting pressure. And he took Otherson midair. He knew he was in trouble, Tedesco, but he couldn't stop himself.
Gee, what a chance gone begging there. Verrills out of dummy half. This was the kick and the penalty from James Tedesco, just getting Clint Gutherson in the air after he caught the footy. But a moment in that set of 6 where Verrills got out of dummy half, able to hold up Reed Marnie, and Hutchison just had to find Tedesco pushing back on the inside. Real chance gone begging for the Roosters.
"18 minutes to go." There's an offload from another offload from Penasini. Before tonight, his best in the game was 2. He smashed that. Barlow comes off. He's closing in on his best ever output in a game in terms of metres and runs. Now it's Campbell Gillard, also having a terrific game.
Hasn't he made a difference since coming back onto the field?
And over halfway with 3 tackles to play with here. There's Madison holding it out in front of him, but straight into Taukeiaho and Collins, and a bit of help from Watson. 30 metres out. Campbell Gillard, they sit back and wait, and he makes it to the 20 and a touch beyond. Yet to score in this second half, the Eels. Moses to the middle. Gutherson coming through. He caught the check from Tupanua. This time, the referee had a perfect view of it and said nothing illegal happened there. Oh, that's a little coat hanger. It's a clumsy tackle from Madison just when the Roosters looked like they were in for a struggle.
Yeah, not much force there. Just hung that arm out and almost just grabbed Joseph Sawali as he tried to get on the outside.
Penalty and nothing more, but it's a handy one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Almost the same thing. Almost exactly the same thing.
same player too.
Yeah.
Collins. Oh, bumping. Marnie out of the way. Oh, strong run, Lindsay Collins. Taukeiaho holding it out in front of him. So for the Roosters' enterprising play this second half, they haven't had a tackle inside Parramatta's 20. As Verrills delivers for Sam Walker. Tupanua, that's strong stuff. Dylan Brown stands up to the challenge. Now Tedesco, the kick off Makatoa.
Great play.
And not played at. It's play on for the Eels.
Yeah, the old trap and scrap there from Makatoa, who's just come onto the field for the Parramatta side. And he just was able to get an arm or a leg out and knock the ball down. Tedesco saw Gutherson in the line.
Very good set from the Roosters. Their best in quite a time. Just not a great finish with Tedesco's kick finding Makatoa.
They're doing this without Lou Keary tonight. Makatoa, a revelation late last year. The late bloomer. There's now Moses on the last. Tupou, no problem there. Taking a tumble, Papali'i. Then the chancy offload finds Tedesco. 15 to go, 2 tries the margin. Billy Smith. Oh, he almost broke through too. Got past Madison and Makatoa. Again, Dylan Brown excellent in defence with Watson.
He's been terrific, Billy Smith. 83 metres carrying the footy. He's had 4 or 5 tackle busts. He's been good out on that left side.
Tedesco on the inside again. As Hutchison this time goes himself. Now Tedesco gets it. And he splashes off Papali'i. And then it comes to Crichton. Crichton flick pass. Walker snaffles it. And then goes down on tackle number 5. And a penalty. And they take the quick tap. It's play on. Tedesco to the 10. Gutherson was there to meet him. Big moment of the game this. Taukeiaho pushing away from Brown. Campbell Gillard down low. But the Roosters, they're coming. Connor Watson zipping. Crichton offloading. Then the shovel. Smith takes it. Play on. Parramatta holding their nerve here. Collins into Campbell Gillard. Now we've got a problem here.
Yeah,
Papali'i took a blow
It's out of my hands, mate. The trainer's asked to stop for HIA.
about a minute ago, and he went straight to ground. Eventually came to very quickly, and no surprise really that he has to be attended to here.
Yeah, Kore's come to the sideline here at Combank Stadium. He was tremendous too, coming on for Parramatta. But Papali'i, geez, had a nice game his first half. Out on that right-hand side, Brad Arthur before the game, moving Papali'i from the middle out to that right-hand side. Kore went back to the bench, and both men have done a sound job.
What have they got here? It's a handy break for Parramatta. Not that it was deliberate, but 2 tackles left here, and time ticking away, stopping at 13:37, but starting to become a little factor. The switch. Oh, that could have been a catastrophe. Well, what's going on here? Joey Manu. That's as dishevelled as either side has looked all night. 1 tackle left.
Walker on the short side.
Comes to Hutchison. Up we go, attacking the Simonson wing. Here's Tupou. Can't quite get a jump on it. But here's a penalty. It's going for Parramatta.
Chase offside.
So they have survived those raids, the Eels.
Well, that last play certainly didn't help them. The offload hitting the ground, went backwards. The stoppage in play just disrupted what the Roosters were doing, and Daniel Tupou hasn't helped things by being offside.
He was only marginally, wasn't he?
Tono.
Yeah.
Jake Duke, you've got some news.
Just talking about the pace of this game, boys. We've got another massive game coming up next week that's renowned for how fast it is, and that is the Ampol State of Origin second game, and returns to Western Australia for the 2022 series with tickets available from just $49. There has never been a better time to head west and experience Australia's greatest sporting rivalry live. Head to nrl.com/tickets to secure your seat today.
Okay, so the Eels rolling here.
He's had his hands full, young Walker on with Sean Lane in front of him.
It's been one of the best games I've seen Sean Lane play.
So, Wanga Blake now. Last tackle. Rushing up there, Takayaho, but Moses gets it away. Here's Tupou. Bringing it to the middle. Oh, knock on! That's massive!
And that's Parramatta playing the long game, willing to play the 80 minutes. Physical, Moses. You've got to remember last week when he was under pressure, he went for the pass to Papali'i in that first set of 6 against the Bulldogs.
Well, it's come out. Was there a helping hand from Makatoa?
Challenge from the Roosters.
Well, the Roosters have got a challenge, so they...
claiming there was high contact, mate.
Oh, okay, so that's where their challenge lay.
But it was a great mindset from Moses, just willing to cop the knock, executed his kick.
This just might save the Roosters here. Makatoa just creeps up a bit high, but...
There's high contact from Makatoa. The challenge is successful.
Well, it's a smart challenge.
It is, really smart challenge. And
that is. We credited Mitch
That's
Moses
right.
with the challenge in the first half, and I guess 10 points behind with 11 minutes on the clock. They had to roll the dice, but they've come up and challenged the right thing. High shot.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity now for the Roosters. And play 1 or 2, they'll be over the halfway line in good position to attack. Crichton carrying the footy now. Tedesco and Walker are the keys. They look the most likely. Manu out on this right-hand side. He needs some footy too.
So here's Verrills delivering for Collins.
Shot under there.
Boy,
What a game from Parlo.
Geez, that was a quick break for Parlo. Here's Walker, finding Hutchison. Then onto Tedesco. Pushing away from Blake. With Dylan Brown there. Along with Blake. They've kept Tedesco relatively quiet to date, as now here's Watson. Getting underneath Parlo. Could play the ball. Verrills back to Walker. Long ball. Tapped on. Put down by Suali. Hello, Sivo. Now Wanga Blake puts the foot down. And happy to take the tackle.
Clint Gutherson just telling Mike Sivo to get in and carry the ball. He was looking for a little spell, Micah.
And he bumps it up to the 30. They could just about bury the Roosters here. Crowd may sense a moment. There's a dummy from Dylan Brown.
He's so sharp when he dummies and comes off that right foot.
Keep attacking this right side with Marlowe. Back down for Moses. Moses for Dylan Brown. Then the floater. Here's Sivo. and they stop him. Tedesco there, and Sam Walker. Tremendous tackle. 2 tackles left here. Madison.
They just need to build pressure here, Parramatta. Look for a repeat set of 6. Turn the ball over in a corner.
Now the front man, as Lane somehow finds Gutherson. Comes out to Sevo! They've stopped him again! Well,
Lindsay Collins, he's been tremendous. He's carried the ball with aggression. He's led their line speed defensively, and he's just come up with a huge play.
Yeah, how do you stop Mike Sevo that far from the line? Well, Lindsay Collins has just done so.
Well, James Tedesco goes to him and says, how do you do that? He got steamrolled in that corner last year.
there won't be many times you'll see Micah Sevo stop twice in the same set so close to the line.
Yeah, and we didn't get to talk about the pass from Gutherson out to Sevo. Was an absolute beauty, wasn't it? Dragged a couple of Roosters players in, flicked it out to Sevo as he was hitting the ground.
They're hanging on, but they're on the ropes, the Roosters. There's Taukeaho straight into Moses, stands up to that tackle. Tedesco on the open side. Watson. He's been so busy. But this is the last tackle coming up here. And Hutchison, no option but to go long. There's Hutchison, happy to dish off to Sevo. Oh, and that's heavy contact again. Lindsay Collins on Bailey Simonson. The ferocious nature of this game continues. Now Dylan Brown spotted something. Got past Tupanua. Oh, Sam Walker kept hold of him like a dog at a postman.
That's good for you, Dean.
Over halfway. Now Dylan Brown for Lane. He's put the offloads away for the most part in this second half. Spectacular offloads in the first half. Now it's Campbell Gillard for Madison. Moses gets it onto Penasini. Simonson runs out of room. Sensational pass. Moses in and away from Collins. That's the 10-metre line. And somehow he stays in the field of play. Last, Marnie. Verrills, did he play at it? No, he did not. Blake goes for it all and cut down, and again the Roosters find a way to hold on.
Look, they are.
Hold on.
They're going to challenge. They're going to challenge this, the Eels.
Challenge from Parramatta. They're challenging their decision of handover to the Roosters, claiming the ball was played out off the kick.
Okay. Well, both sides have come up with some ripping challenges, haven't they, tonight?
Well, they have. Did it actually hit his hand or did it come off his leg?
Just looking to determine if the ball is played up by Sam Verrills.
I don't think it hit his hand.
No, he's tried to pull the hand out of the way.
And I think he did. I think
Sam
he was
Verrills
successful in doing
taking
it.
evasive action. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Evasive action.
Did anyone else think it missed his hand completely, or I think it just hit his leg? So
Challenge
anyway,
gone.
well, the challenge is in the rules. You might like it, and I don't know if I do like all the challenges that we've had tonight, but the players they know how to bend a rule.
Well, if they got that right, that'd
Give them a chance, Brandy. They'll have a go.
Absolutely.
pretty close to game over, but they can't shake off the Roosters just yet, the Eels. Signs of life as Verrills runs.
Yeah, he's starting to have some nice moments, Sam Verrills, out of dummy half. As the game's got a little bit quicker, he's been really active.
Taukeaho, early ball. Walker cuts out 3 players for Suali. Oh, and almost gets past Blake. Now here's a little short side play. Tedesco and Sevo swooping in.
I thought that was forward anyway, down the short side, out of dummy half from Joey Manu. Allowed to play on. Sevo, he's been tested tonight.
Don't forget tomorrow, Sunday ticket. Canberra, Newcastle, the 2 p.m. game. We're on air from 1 2 p.m. Canberra, Newcastle, and then Canterbury, the suddenly hot Canterbury against the Wests Tigers, the 4 p.m. clash here on Fox League. But we've got some unfinished business here at CommBank. Ryan Madison. 7 tries in the first half, just 1 in the second. Moses inside the 40, but not worried about a 40-20 attempt here. They're just happy to pin the Roosters as close to the try line as possible.
Well, they are getting desperate now, the Roosters. They are running out of time very quickly. I think they threw everything into that last set defensively to try and force the error. Very quick off their line. I just wonder how much they've got left with the ball now.
They're facing 3 straight losses, the Sydney Roosters, for the first time since 2019. 4.5 minutes remaining. Can they find a way?
And the next game is against Penrith. Here's Tedesco. Maybe it's not over. The inside ball all cleared for Manu. Then the flick for Suwali. The desperate kick. Now it's off the legs of Gutherson.
Roosters ball, he played at it.
Roosters ball.
And it is played at, and they have no challenge, Parramatta.
That keeps them alive, the Roosters. They'll come centre field with a full set of 6. And they need a try now in this set. Or they.
Oh, he's nearly gone over the referee.
They at least need to get the ball back.
So Walker calling runners inside. He called Billy Smith on the inside as well. Whenever he had their plan, it didn't fool the Eels defenders. They open up the right. 6 more tackles. Won't bother Parramatta. Takayaho straight down the middle, near the 10-metre line.
45 tackles now for Reid, Marnie.
Strip penalty to the Roosters.
Tapped here by Verrills. And no. It's coming back. Looked like Watson was in front of Verrills. That prevented the quick restart. Well, we keep saying it. It has to happen here. Parramatta now just happy to slow this down as much as possible. Hutchison to Walker. Walker to Vanilla. Not this time. It comes out, and they're just about there, the Eels.
You talk about the response from the Parramatta side, particularly defensively, keeping the Roosters, who have thrown plenty at them, down to 16 points, and there's been some great ball movement. Sam Walker and Tedesco. Joey Manu, Suwali in the second half, asking plenty of questions, but you go back to the physicality and where Parramatta needed to improve tonight. Campbell Gillard, 19 carries for 190 metres. Listen to this. Junior Parlo, 24 carries, 221 metres, throwing 26 tackles from the big man.
24 runs, career high. 221 metres, career high. Boy, hasn't he found a way to answer the critics. And now Kai Rodwell is going to get a little taste of it. Penalty for Parramatta. Kai Rodwell in the 21 from Bega, front rower, 22 years old.
He can't challenge.
And there he goes. He did get a taste of it last year in the last round game against Penrith, and a lot of youngsters were given a bit of first grade experience. Kai Rodwell. Parramatta. This is a terrific wing looming. They have done it with supreme skill, with brute force, and now we've got a second football on the field.
The footy was that good in the first half. You don't even notice that there's only been one try scored.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Only one try. And the Roosters grabbed that. We said they had to be the first to score in the second half. There has not been another try score.
And you said the word draining. It has been a war through the middle, hasn't it?
Yeah.
End-to-end footy in the second half.
And we've just wrapped at the 2 Parramatta front rowers. You've got to give it to their bench too, Niokore and Madison, who have played in the middle. But the Roosters' middles have been outstanding as well.
Collins, Tokyaho have been tremendous, haven't they?
They have.
So now Rodwell lost it. Roosters, well,
Tupanua just coming out of the line. Left shoulder, right shoulder, right into Rodwell.
now Madison's down here, and now he gets up. So they were down a man ever so briefly. Roosters, as I said, they've got Penrith next up. Week off, of course, with rep round as it comes to Hutchison. So they're going to drop to 7 and 8 with Penrith to come. And that is at Bluebet Stadium on a Friday night. So there's evasive work here from Tedesco.
They've kept a pretty straight line on James Tedesco. He hasn't had too many opportunities tonight. He's been hunting and scheming around the ruck, particularly in the second half, but they've done a good job.
So Walker goes long for Billy Smith. It's Penasini making the tackle. And on the last, it's Walker looking for the contest. Manu coming through. Gutherson loses it. Comes to Tedesco. Oh, then the pass. And they'll play the original knock on. But, well, had they scored off that play, they could have ignored the kick at goal and had one shot from the kickoff. Not to be. And Parramatta are going to go on to win their 9th game of the season, and yet again are going to follow up a disheartening loss with a terrific win. They lost to Cronulla, beat Melbourne the next week. They were thumped by North Queensland. They beat Penrith the next week. They lost to West Tigers, beat Newcastle, hammered them the next week. And after the embarrassment of Monday, they're going to beat the Sydney Roosters. One play left now for the Roosters here. Now the chip kick from Manu, and volleyballed out the back, and they stand up and applaud at Combank Stadium. This is a win to savour. The Parramatta Eels are still a contender. Full time, 26-16.